So we're going to try this again without the multi-stream to see what happens. So there was the streaming software that we've been using and successfully multi-streaming with was they had an update this morning. And so now we are going to see if this works. Let's see. Get rid of this. Without, and I have to figure out if there's a way to go back to prior versions of Streamlabs because we were having 0 issues with the prior version.
I see you now. Good morning. Picture looks better too.
Well, I think something was happening in Streamlabs communication with
Good morning.
So part of the challenge is when you go live through Facebook's dashboard, you have no option to you know what we don't have here is like comments. I wonder if
So we can only see Facebook comments. So
I can't see YouTube comments. So
we're not ignoring you.
If you're making comments on YouTube, we can't see it. But in any case, yeah, I got to figure out how to go backwards in Streamlabs because that's nonsense. So in any case, we hope you all had a great holiday weekend. And
We had a great weekend. We celebrated Easter with friends, and I ate a ham. I've had ham before, but why are you
this
laughing?
is big news. Headline. Ginny eats ham. What?
Well, so we didn't grow up. I didn't grow up like where that was a tradition. Like eating. I've never cooked a ham before. I've never cooked one. I've never put the sugar on it. I've never.
You've never cooked a ham. Cooking a ham is getting the ham, glazing the ham,
I've never glazed a ham.
and putting it in the oven for like a couple hours. It's not. You're not really cooking it. It's already cooked.
We ate on
You're
Easter.
reheating it.
We ate kimchi and rice, and maybe like mandu and like some. We ate actually. It was.
My son would tell you it's the best Christmas meal ever.
Or Easter meal
Or
ever.
Easter meal or any meal ever.
So we would feast, but it wasn't like it
I ate
wasn't.
4 pounds of beef last night.
I don't
And
think
my
that was 4 pounds. That wasn't 4 pounds, Patrick. It was like
I put it on the scale.
we ate 4 pounds. I was like, it was 2. I'm getting warmed up now. Okay, here, we'll take this off.
But
I love
my kid
ham.
can eat.
He said we needed more next time, that it wasn't enough. He's like, I guess I'm kind of full, but.
I'm like, it's better that you don't stuff. Yeah, we can't flip the screen on. Actually, you know what? They're on Irian too. I bet we can flip the
How's
screen.
that, ladies?
How about that?
So do they see that? Where I'm on
Yep.
But really, I'm on the other side, right?
No. So
right.
you've got to think that this is what they're seeing.
Ooh, you cooked prime rib. Don't love it. Yeah, some people. I don't think
I'm
I'd
with
want.
you. I'm with you, Gail. But if somebody else is making it, I'll eat it.
I liked it. I thought this is kind of fun.
It's super easy.
Yes, super easy. So
Our prime rib we did a prime rib for New Year's.
Oh yeah, that was really good. That was really, really good. Okay. Do you have any announcements?
Service times have crept back up a little bit. We're more like we're freezing on YouTube right now, which is weird. Are we freezing for everybody? Because now that YouTube has been pulled off, it's So maybe it's more of a YouTube problem, not a.
The flipped work. If you like ham, buy one. That's where ours came from. I think they said they got it from Costco. That's good.
They're big Costco shoppers.
Isn't everyone? Almost. We're big Costco shoppers. Not quite. They're in a different category of Costco shopping. You know, right?
Well, they have 5 kids.
Yeah. So you know how it is.
Like, that's exhausting.
You just. I heard that you just assign one to the older kid. You're like, this is your kid. You take care of this kid.
Oh, that's really fair.
Violet was my
You
child.
said life was fair. Yeah, we each had a kid. Patrick had Violet, and I had Kai because
Like, if something was wrong, that was the parent that the child wanted. Unless
Yes.
something was really, really, really wrong, and then
they wanted
they wanted me. Like, if they were hurt or something.
Oh, yeah, they still want me, but I didn't handle the hurt stuff. I couldn't handle
And she's
that.
like, ah!
Yeah, I couldn't handle the hurt stuff. That stuff would freak me out. Like one day, Kai ran in the house. The kids were, how old do you think they were? Like,
Violet's dead.
that's what he ran in the house and said.
Oh my
He
God.
ran in the house. They were probably, what do you think, like 6, 7, maybe younger?
Oh, they were
5?
probably like 5.5.
Kai runs in the house and says, Violet's dead.
Oh my God.
And so at the time I was working home from the office, and he runs into so she goes running out to deal with Violet,
I
and
go
I
running
hear
out
the
of the
ladies
house.
screaming, you and Christine. Ah! And
I
then
think I wasn't screaming. I wouldn't be like,
you went, oh my God!
I probably said, oh my God.
And then
ran
Kai comes running into my office, and he's like, Dad, you gotta come outside. Violet's dead.
We can laugh about it because she wasn't dead.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
and
Dramatic, maybe?
so there
She
was
knocked
blood
She
everywhere.
knocked herself out.
She ran.
She was running
She turned
full
and
stream
ran
forward.
into a mailbox, and it was right at her face level, the wood part, like the stand, and then knocked herself off, and then fell.
Knocked herself out.
Knocked
Herself off. That would mean she was dead.
knocked herself out and then fell onto the sidewalk. So there was blood everywhere. And then the worst part was, so did I carry her back in or Jen?
It was Christine.
It was Jen Petrillo. It was right in front of Jen's house.
Jen wasn't even there by the time I got there.
Okay, so regardless, one of us came into the house and Patrick came out and I just handed her off to Patrick.
She's like, "Ah!"
And then, Kai goes, I think she came to you at that point and was crying.
She was
and
fully conscious by the time I
so
got in there.
Kai goes, she had stopped crying.
This is
this is fine.
No, this is fine, but this happened later. Like,
Yeah.
we got her, she was covered in blood, and, like, we got her cleaned up and
Kai
stuff like that.
said, you look like Squidward, he told her, because she hit her nose.
Her whole face just swelled up
and
like
then
crazy.
she started crying again.
And, like, we had just gotten her calmed down, and I'm like, we had just made an appointment to go see the doctor, and, like,
he
we were
told her she
pretty
looked like
sure she
Squidward.
crushed her nose, which she did not.
Yeah,
Somehow,
it was amazing.
Somehow she had not broken her nose. Even the doctor's like, her nose is going to be broken. We're going to end up, like, needing to deal with some stuff. And turned out her nose was not broken.
Just really swollen.
Just crazy swollen. But, like, she had just finally calmed down. And Kai looks at her and is like, Violet, you look just like Squidward. She did look just like Squidward. Her whole face had, like,
Her
swelled
nose
up.
was like this big. Oh my God. But she started crying again super hard.
And
So
that was just like, I'm like, Dad, you gotta come outside. Why? Violet's dead.
oh my God. So, yeah, Cheryl, Patrick always handled, like, Kai broke his arm and we all went to the emergency room, but when they took the arm and, like, popped it back to make it straight because it looked like this, it looked like a V.
Yeah,
I
his arm went down and then up.
I left the room. Like, I can't handle any of that stuff.
They gave Kai morphine.
Oh, he loved that.
And they give him the morphine, and like he kind of eyes roll back into his head, and then he like comes to a little bit, and he looks at me, and he's like, "Hey, Dad." And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Punch me in the face." What?
Yeah, crazy.
What? The benefits of modern narcotics. Anyways, what do we have to talk about
I have
today,
a couple
Jeannie?
things to talk about. Should we do our giveaway first?
Well, so they can't see the random comment picker on Facebook.
Okay.
So, I mean, we can do that, or we can film it and post it later, depending upon how you want to do it.
Let's just do it.
Let's just do it.
Let's just do it.
This is a big one.
Patrick, don't throw that on the
So
table.
if you it's like a sign of how big it is. So
It's so big, it makes the room
table
shake.
So coffee chalk. Do you have a sample of coffee chalk? Didn't I?
No,
see
but
something
and I
coffee
don't
chalk?
have any left. They all got sold. We always see it when you do it.
No, you can't if we're not on the multicast platform. So so we can't share a screen once you're live in Facebook. That's basically what you're gonna see. So coffee chalk is the grand prize, and I don't know what this is.
And this is normally $95.99. If you win it, you have to pay for shipping.
Lace and leather
if
and
we're
amazing
shipping it
grace.
to you, and it's so cute. I love fat quarter packs, and I buy them all the time, and I try and use every last bit of it.
So we can share it on YouTube.
So the question
though.
was, are you going to the Reno Quilt Show?
And if so, what are you planning on buying?
Because then we're going to be like, hey, it's Patrick and Jeannie. Remember how you said you wanted to get that Triumph? Come on, let's come to the booth.
No, they want to get a scan and cut, Jeannie.
Yes, the scan and cut.
That's super weird. I don't know why that's only showing. Let's see. Stretch this out, maybe. So here we go. If your comment answers the question, you will win that. If not, no, I'm not going to the Reno Quilt Show as I will be out of town. And is Marilena a first-time winner? I mean, that
Remember,
counts.
we told them that they had to. It was 2-part.
Right.
We'll
but
just
that's,
count it.
Yeah, she answered the question.
Um.
So Marilena Moss, you win the
Congratulations!
The coffee chalk. Remember coffee chalk with Mike
Coffee
Myers?
talk.
I know it's coffee talk. With Mike Myers, etc. And then the there we go. The second prize is leather and lace and amazing grace.
It's a
panel
panel.
and a little notebook. Pick another winner. Here we go. Sean Scherer.
Congratulations, Sean. We can ship it out with the hoop tightener. What was her? You won with good morning. Good morning.
All right. So, what else do we have to talk about today? Daily deals, etc.
Yes, I have a ton of stuff to talk about. Number one, Jubilee event. So I had a couple people reach out to me. I had a couple people reach out to me to see if we were going to do Kimberbell's Jubilee event, which I would happy to redo. We did do it when it first came out, and I haven't done it since. But these are the things that we stitch out in the Jubilee event, and they don't have to be made as ornaments.
Cheryl, we're not even on the multi-classing platform at this point. If there's a problem, it's a YouTube problem.
How about Facebook? Is it okay on
or
Facebook?
a Facebook problem. Shit, all these people are on Facebook.
So sorry,
So
guys.
I think the problem was actually not with the software. I think the problem is with Facebook this morning.
So it was a Spark event, which means it's just a 4-hour event. I think it's a 4-hour event. And these designs that you see here, we stitch out as ornaments, but you could also put them on whatever you want. You could add them to other Kimberbell projects, do them as standalone. So if you wanted to do this embroidery just on a t-shirt or a bag or whatever you want, you could do that. So these are the projects. There is the Nutcracker. Look how fantastic. Whoop, there. Nutcracker. And then there is the ballerina, and my ballerina has no tutu on because one day I saw Momo with the ballerina in his mouth. It was like dangling like this from the tutu. It was dangling from his mouth, and I saw him and he saw me, and I started running and he started running away from me, and then he put his hand out and I ripped it off. So that's why she has no tutu. And he mangled it.
She had a tutu?
Oh, yeah, she had a tutu. Isn't she cute? We did, like, Mylar in the wings. And I
We
mean,
might
she's
have been
pretty spectacular.
frozen, Anna, but Jeannie was saying we already did the event, but people have been asking about the event.
Yeah, they've been asking about it, and it's being retired. So, yes, we did. Here's the figgy pudding. I just love saying figgy pudding. Look how cute whoops, wrong direction. Figgy pudding is so cute. And then there is the gumdrop, and I can't remember if there's other ones, but I just wanted to see is how many people are interested in Jubilee, because if we have enough people interested, if I had 10 people, we could go ahead and do that. But if you're interested in Jubilee, let me know. Send me an email. Respond in the live feed. I'm watching right now, and we can do this. I mean, look how cute this is.
The challenge with saying
vinyl
respond in the live feed is, are you going to go back and look at comments for those?
Okay, email me.
So many people watch
Email
after
me,
the fact.
ladies. JeannieA1So@gmail.com.
Marlene is very polite.
No, thank you. It depends on how you read it. No, thank you. Or it could be like,
No, thank you.
So it depends on how you read it, right? It's not capital, so it could be like,
She's not
no,
yelling.
thank you. Yes. So, yeah, if you want to do it, we could do it one more time. I also wanted to talk to you about Cup of Cheer. Kimberbell's Cup of Cheer is coming out, and it's supposed to be here in June. And I was just on the website because I did not realize this. We always do our pre-orders at 20% off. Is that like funny, or is that like funny? No, just kidding.
Jeez.
So, Marlene, I'm just having fun. So, I didn't realize that it was on the site at regular price. And then there was some things like the embellishment kit I had at greater than the retail price.
Oh, good. We were making up for some lost margin.
Yes. So we always do our pre-orders at 20% off. And so I fixed that. So if you haven't gotten Cup of Cheer yet, get Cup of Cheer. It is amazing. So I sat into this whole, it was a dealer thing for the dealers, and it was all about the project. And it's definitely an heirloom project. I would think, like, if you have multiple kids, you should get more than one kit, because every single one of it's an advent quilt. So it's like an advent calendar, and it's going to be full size. So it's not going to be the 40 by 40. It's going to be is it like 40 by 60 or whatever? It's the bigger size. But they have like little zippers that you can put things behind, little pockets. What is Cup of Cheer? So it's going to be Kimberbell's Christmas quilt, or it's their advent calendar
Didn't
quilt.
we do Cup of Cheer last year?
No. Any other questions?
Have we just been talking about Cup of Cheer for a
Yes.
long time?
Yeah, we did our pre-order for this back in November, and I pre-ordered 50 kits. So, and it's back up on the site. I'll send Christine something to see, but it's on our pre-order page. But it's up there. Everything's up at 20% off for those quilters that are out there. There is a quilt kit too. So if you want to sew the quilt and
Meaning it's not an embroidery.
embroider the quilt, it's not It's not. It's like a traditional looking piece quilt. It doesn't have all the pockets and all that stuff. There is a music box in it. So one of the ones plays like music. So it's definitely going to be heirloom quality. This is going to be an heirloom quilt. You're going to give it to your kid. They're going to put it up, or your grandkids, and they can put all the fun little stuff in there. You could personalize it, put their name in little secret spots. That would be really, really fun. And everything's back up there at 20% off. And consider getting 2 kits if you have multiple families that you'd like to give them to. We will. Did you see that note from Miss
Yep.
Diane? So that's back up there. You can look it up. Just go. It's on our pre-order page, and you can just look up Cup of Chair. So I wanted to talk to you about that. This is going up. So I sent everything. So if you don't see it right now, this is finally up.
Heather Mundy sent a note this morning that she was in, I think they're on vacation in New Orleans.
Ooh.
And she's like, so I will resume my secretary duties next week. So we don't have Secretary Mundy.
We don't have Secretary Mundy, who is a volunteer. It is an unpaid
But it's
position.
like all of a sudden it'll be like, bloop. It's like she's always like on it.
So this class is up. So I did 2 sessions. So there is 2 scan and cut sessions, one on a Wednesday, one on a Saturday.
How's your coffee today?
Oh my God, it's so delicious.
There, see?
My barista is so good. He is so good. I never want to go to a coffee place again because I'll be disappointed because it's not going to be as good as what Patrick makes. Okay, 2 classes. One is on June 1st, one is on June 3rd. We pushed it out because we don't have the fabric mats for scan and cut, although they're ordered and...
I mean, we need to finalize that order like now.
But we had 10 on order. We're going to add to that order. If you need a...
Are you mailing out the Liberty Pillow kits?
These kits? Are you talking about, because that's what Kimberbell's Pillow's called too. And I already got some for people, and I'll be reaching out to people to see if you're okay with substitutions or you want to wait.
We can always mail them out. Generally, when we do that, we charge you the actual cost of shipping.
Yeah, these will ship out the kits for this. Kits are cut for this. So, if you...
We kind of need to wrap up, or at least I do. So, are you going to talk for a while?
Okay. I've got a lot to
All right,
talk about.
Bye.
Kimberbell, yes. Marlene, I can't remember if you said you were okay with substitution, but I'll give you a call. So, there's 2 classes, one on June 1st and one on June 3rd. That's the same class. It's scan and cut. So if you want to do a morning class, that's going to be the Wednesday, June 1st. If you want to do an afternoon class, that's going to be Friday, June 3rd. And in that class, you will be learning how to scan in an image on your scan and cut. You're going to take it to Canvas. You're going to work with shapes. You're going to create a cut and draw file because it's going to cut your pieces and it's also going to draw your sew lines on some of those pieces. Next class, the class I'm going to do is going to be the following week because you need to have this completely pieced. I was like, how should I do this? And then I was thinking about it and I was like, have your thing completely pieced. And I was like, not only are we going to put your image in, and for the second class, you do not have to have a scan and cut. If you don't have a scan and cut, we will send you the file. You have to buy the design, and once you have the design, if you don't have the ability to scan it through like whatever you have at home, like a regular scanner, we'll send you the file. But you do have to have a machine that has IQ Designer or Design Center. We're going to work with that scanned image. We're going to apply line properties. We're going to resize. We're going to work with the magnifier. We're going to work with the erase tool, with the drawing tool. We're going to work with the fills. We're going to stitch it out. Once we've stitched it out, we're going to come back through embroidery. We're going to save a stamped image. We're going to add stippling, and I'm going to find some good designs because, and I didn't do it on this pillow, but I was like, we should do that too. It's a 3-hour class, but you know how I am. Might go a little bit long. We're going to find some embroidered quilting patterns too. So we'll work with using your fills, but then we'll also work with some, if you have, I'll figure out how many of you have clear blue tiles, because if we have clear blue tiles, if you have it, we'll also work with clear blue tiles and do quilting on the rest of the pillow. So we'll quilt the entire pillow. Doesn't that sound like fun? Doesn't that sound amazing? I can't wait. That class is going, these 2 classes, this is what I've dreamt of. Like, I've dreamt of Scan and Cut to cut my fabric, and then IQ Designer to quilt everything and create designs. I cannot wait. So, there's 2 classes. There's 2 sessions. So one's on the 8th and one's on the 10th. So, but there's only 2 parts to this class. And then the pillow part, you're kind of on your own, unless there's enough people that want me to do a serger pillow class, because that's how I put the rest of it together. Kit for this includes everything, all the fabric for the front and the back, including the zipper, and including the cording to do the piping that goes around it. So all of that is included in this. And if you don't see it up, it's going to go up today. I sent everything to Christine, but of course I sent her everything late. I know I told you that serger class was going to be up. That's going to go up too. It's not quite there yet. It's almost there. So I'm hoping tomorrow. So it's going to be happening soon. Let's talk about, I did want to show you this because I finally semi-finished this. Yesterday we did our 5 weeks sew along for spring showers. And I'm going to have some more of the Kimberbell spring shower kits, the official ones, not the cut in the store ones, and those should be here in May. So if you're still waiting for a kit and you didn't get in on the first order, I'll have those. Mine is filled with Momo hair because literally every time I lay stuff down, he comes and lays on it. So, because he wants all my attention, all my love. But it is so, I think this was my favorite Kimberbell quilt. But it is so stinking cute. Yesterday, we did the flowers. So we did the flowers. I want to show you my back because I did piece my back. If you know me, I use all my leftover pieces and I make a scrappy back and I just start sewing. I lay them out on the ground. Momo comes and runs on them and pushes them all around, and then I kick him out and then I lay him down again. But this is my scrappy back, and I know I didn't finish stitching in the ditch everywhere, but I just love it because I use up every last piece. I probably have a couple little pieces, so I'll put like little pieces in there too. But it's just so much fun. I did do my binding on my serger. I know it's not totally smooth. Oh, and there's some puckers in there, but I just wanted to get it done. I looked and I was like, ooh, that's not totally smooth, but I don't care. It's just going to hang up. But it's just fun to do, and I think it looks super cute. And I just wanted to show you that. So if you hadn't done your backing yet, that's an option for you. And what else did I want to talk about? Okay, let's talk about Deal of the Day. So Deal of the Day today, and we're calling it Deal of the Week because it's up for the whole week, and I'm just gonna, sometimes I put just stuff up today, sometimes I'll sprinkle stuff up during the week. This is up there. So the Riley Blake Clapper is up there, and I couldn't get these during the pandemic. It was like a year that I couldn't get them because they kept saying the wood quality wasn't good enough. So I do have other ones. I have, I should put those up there too because there's different sizes. There were times where I want a bigger one. And what this does is it sets the scene. When you iron and you take this and you put it on there, do you put another... I didn't put another layer of batting in between my front and the back, and that's why it's a little bit wrinkly, but... I'm okay with it. It's just going to be hung up anyways. And that's why you might see some shadowing too of like fabric behind it. I just don't want it to be really heavy and thick, and it's just going to go on the wall. And people are really going to be looking more at the front than they are at the back. So I didn't put batting. The only batting in there, Carolyn, was the batting that was in there as I quilted it. If I didn't quilt as I go and it was just the quilt top, I would have added just the top, and then I would have sandwiched it with batting and backing. And I always use, because I am a one size fits all for my batting because most of it's getting hung up here, It is Hobbs 80/20. So I use a Hobbs 80/20. It's kind of my go-to, and I buy a big bolt every year and just use it throughout the year. But I do have some other quilts that I'm going to sandwich, and those are that are really like my paper piece. I have some paper piece quilts that I just love. And then I'll figure out if there's other batting that I should use. But for this one, I use my 80/20, and I love it. It's kind of, yeah. You usually do? Do I usually, for the Kimberbell, any quilt that I pre-quilt, meaning there is batting, already a layer of batting there, I usually don't add another layer of batting. Like, but for instance, when I did my my OESD tiling scene, I add batting because there's no batting. So I do my quilt top, batting, backing. You kind of, I thought about it because I was like, oh, there's shadowing. You can kind of see. I thought about adding another layer, but I at the same time, I go, I'm just hanging up. I did load, not to digress or go on a tangent, I did load a video for the embellishment flowers because I did them in the sew-along, and you should have seen me cutting them apart and like, dealing with them, and then it just like broke, and I was like, oh no! But part of me goes, I think those pieces weren't even supposed to be in there. So I did a video doing the flowers, and they came out so cute. Somebody told me that they were a pain in the butt to do, and they were a pain in the butt. But they are really, really adorable, and I show you how I glue them together and everything. So I still have to put my embellishments on this. I'll get those on, and then I'll get it hung up. I did my binding on the serger, so I do have to tack it down. I usually like to do a triple single stitch, so I have to tack that down, but it is fused down. That's the technique we do in the serger binding class. Anyhow, I use this, when I put this together, I use this to press all my seams, and it's a tailoring clapper, and I think that's, but people use it for quilting just to get your seam and to set the seam, and it holds the heat, and it just makes them that much flatter. Michelle, you use a clapper all the time, right?
I have 4 of them.
Michelle has 4 of them because she has 4 different sizes.
I use it for pressing in the hoop when I'm doing
Here,
embroidery
you can come
if I
sit.
need to. Oh, I even have a pillow this morning. Oh,
I'm
well, that
taking
was
it.
short-lived. I can't live without one of these. Oops, I'm sorry. I use it for pressing in the hoop. If you've ever taken one of my classes, when I do binding or anything like that, or straps or anything, I want a really nice, crisp press. And as soon as I heat it up with the iron, I press down with the clapper, and your seams will be paper thin. It flattens them out really completely. So if you think that your machine struggles doing binding because it's too thick, try using a clapper when you press it, because it'll press it down considerably, and it makes it easier for the machine to track over the top of it.
She sells more batting. Oh, yeah, she put batting in there.
Good morning, Miss Betty.
Yes, that totally makes sense because it would make it. It'll probably look better.
It will.
But
it'll always look more
mine's
professional,
mine's
more
just
finished.
going on the wall, so I didn't put the batting in between. And I just didn't
Well,
want
you
to
know what
add
they say.
the
If
extra
you
weight.
can't see it from 20 feet away, don't worry about it.
Did you hear that? That's a good rule.
It is a good rule.
Don't be turning mine over here in the store and go, that girl should add batting.
This is why I cover everything on the back, because I love it when they turn it over and there's nothing to see.
Yes, yeah. So this is on the site. I gotta tell you, these used to be like $20. That was the retail.
This is a great size.
The retail on this is now $30. It's almost $40. I think it was like $35 or $36. So I put it on the site. I think I put it on at 25% off. So I think it's $25 or something like that.
Here's why it's worth it. Number one, it's hardwood all the way through, and the hardwood is what sucks up the heat and pulls it out. Plus, you have a place on the side for your fingers. So it's a little bit more than, I'll just go to Home Depot and get a piece of 2x4. It's a little bit more than that.
It's not the same quality.
It's not the same kind of wood.
And that's why they said they couldn't get the right wood, and that's why it took so long for these to come back in stock. But these are on the site, and they're on at 25% off. Also, these are on, and I know some of you have them already. These are
I
going to
love
be...
playing with those things. It's like whack.
So these are the new stabilizer slap bands, and it comes in a 16-pack. All of the slap bands have words on them, so they have the names of the different types of stabilizers. So a tearaway, a cutaway, a no-show mesh, ultra cutaway, light cutaway. There is an expansion pack that comes with the 3 extra ones. I do an auto ship with Kimberbell, and so I thought they were automatically sending them to me, and they didn't. So I'm going to be ordering those, the extra 3-pack. So if you need just the extra 3-pack, I'll have those, and I'll do those as a deal of the day. But if you don't have these at all, they're super nice silicone. They're so much nicer than just...
Oh, yeah.
They're not the same. They're a better quality than most slap bands that you're going to get. They're like that big,
But they still make
thick,
that great sound.
They do. They're that big, thick, like smooth, like rubbery silicone.
Silicone, yeah.
So,
Marlene, I'm sorry, I forgot the galloping horse, but even at 20 feet away on a rolling chair, you still can't see it.
On a rolling chair. Did your internet kick off the earlier comments? I don't think so. Tailoring, then quilters found out how good they are. Yeah, because they were originally, I think, just called tailoring clappers.
It
is
was.
what I would
That's
see
exactly
them as.
what mine is a June Taylor tailoring clapper from 1971.
Ooh. She's like ahead of her time. Like, I didn't know
No,
about
I don't know
these.
if I'm ahead or
I
behind or
also
whatever.
have some
I was
other
there.
ones, and I'll put those on the site too, but I have some that are made by Jackson, and they're tapered. So those might be a better size. Or I have one that's a little bit smaller, and I have a big one. So I'll add those. We'll just have a clapper, just a clapper deal of the week. I love this one. This is the one that I use the most. However, there were times where I was like, this is too big, and you heard Michelle say she has 4 different ones in different sizes.
I have one like this that's longer, and I really like it because if you're doing fusible stabilizer, you can heat it up and then go over the top of it, and it really makes fusible stabilizer stick really well.
Wow, because
Yeah.
there's times where I sit there and I
Yeah,
just have
no,
to
just
press
heat it
and
up,
press and press.
Heat it up and roll the clapper over the top of it. The heat pulls the clapper pulls the heat and the moisture out, and the stabilizer is permanently stuck to the back.
Because there were times when I was doing my quilt where I was like, oh, I wish it was a little bit longer. So I do have one in the store that's a little bit longer and tapered on the end. Do you see the ones over there?
Oh, yeah.
So I'll add those to the
They're
site
all
too.
great. And again, I have one that'll fit in as small as a 4x4 hoop that I
Yes.
got from Angela Wolf a long time ago.
Yeah, and that little one.
That little one's good for that
I
too.
don't, would it fit? But it's, yeah.
It's nice when you're
might
doing,
be
when you have to
for
do the
little
press.
stuff. So we'll have the clappers up. We'll put those up on the site.
Clap on, clap off. Yep. Kind of like wax on, wax off.
Yes, I learn something all the time. The other thing that's going to go up there too is going to be, let me hand it to Michelle.
Good morning. What are you handing?
So
the
this fabric is going to go up there as well.
All right, so this right here, I'm working on a little project for in the advanced quilt software where you just cut and sew. I mean, the advanced quilt software is not for embroidery machines. It's just simply I get to design quilt blocks the way I want to design them and then cut them out of my Scan and Cut and sew them together. And I have these 4 colors that I took home. It was really cool. They're prepped and ready to sew.
So, this is Moda's line, and it's called Promenade. And if you remember last week, we did a deal of the day for the fat quarter pack and the jelly roll, and I also bought it in yardage. So if you're looking for something nice and springy,
This definitely is springy.
and this paisley, that's for you ladies. I don't know if you know this about it, but I have a physical aversion to paisleys.
That's all right, because I love the paisleys, and I have a physical aversion to gingham.
Michelle can't stand gingham. I don't know why. You know what? This is why.
the same reason
Because
that
when
you don't
I
like
see
paisley.
paisleys, no, it's not for the same reason. When I see paisley, I see sperm.
Oh.
It looks like, and I don't think you see that in your gingham. But they look to me like,
Are they shaped that way?
Yeah, they're kind of like shaped that way. So that's, I don't know why. Every time I see
I see
it,
paisleys, I see the 60s.
But I do love, I mean, if I'm going to like paisley,
Uh-huh.
this is the paisley I would love. Like, it's sweet, it's delicate. Probably shouldn't have said that to you because now
What
you're going to
kind
be
of
thinking
pink?
it.
What kind of sperm is pink with flowers?
Just the shape.
Oh.
The shape. No,
Okay.
they don't have pink with flowers. It's just the shape. So, but it's so sweet. It's so delicate. This is on, it'll be on the website. I just sent it all to Christine this morning because, like I said, I was trying to remember. I was like, I couldn't remember what I was going to put up.
I am now taking note that you ordered only pink and blue in the sperm.
I know. But and it's gonna be up there. I did it a little more than 20%, less than 25%. It's normally $12.99, and it's gonna be on the site at $9.99. So I didn't like the homespun. What's the homespun? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry, Ray. I didn't mean to ruin it for you, but I don't know. That's what I think every time I see paisleys.
What is homespun?
Yeah, what's homespun?
We didn't even have any homespun, did we?
Is it something up here? I don't know what it is. Anyhow, did you have anything that you wanted
just
to talk to them
ruined
about?
paisley forever
I know. Did you have anything that you want to talk
Do I
with them?
want to show the show
No.
and tell? No.
We're going to show
Okay.
it to them, but not quite
'cause
yet.
I have a couple
Michelle
of things.
came in with an amazing project. It was
fun.
It was from Annie's, right? Was that in Annie's?
That one's not an Annie's, but I'm working on an
Oh,
Annie's.
it's not that one?
That one's not an Annie's.
Oh, who makes that?
So Sweetness.
Is that an online pattern?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm looking at Annie's. There's one at Annie's. I'm hoping that I can evolve into that. But that one is just like,
Cute.
it's, honestly, it sews up in about 2 hours. So,
Wow,
because
you're kidding me.
No, the prep work takes longer than the actual sewing.
It is
So-
so
And I'd
stinking
already
cute.
done that one, and I had that pattern. The thing with Annie's is when I order them, I can never get the downloads. I have to order the physical pattern. It takes a while to get to me.
And you know when you want it, you want it.
I want it now.
But
I have this fabric.
Gail, of
I'm
course
so
you love
enamored.
paisleys because you are you're you know not because you love.
She's my fabric sister. She loves paisleys.
She
loves her tulip
because
pink.
she's a hippie at heart.
Yes.
Loosely woven fabric. Do we have loosely homespun? Is there something here that we have that you didn't like? Anyhow, I think that's it, ladies. Have a great day. Be creative.
right.
Make something incredible. We have a lot of work to do, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.
All right. Bye, everyone.